Lucy Morton was never a woman to give up easily. Growing up on the outskirts of Charlottesville, Virginia, she had learned from an early age to appreciate the small moments and great achievements of life. Her resilient spirit was further forged after the birth of her daughter, Emma, a curious and lively girl of only 6 years, who shared not only her mother's green eyes, but also her unbreakable sense of optimism. The story of Lucy and Emma was about to win a new exciting chapter. After years of saving every penny of her work as a library assistant, Lucy finally had enough to take Emma to see the Statue of Liberty in New York, a dream that they both cherished since Emma learned about this symbol of freedom and hope in school. It was a cool autumn morning when mother and daughter packed their bags. Lucy had planned every detail of the trip, from the snacks for the trip to the activities for each day in New York. "Emma, did you get the Statue of Liberty travel guide I picked up for you from the library?" asked Lucy while checking travel documents. "Yes, Mom. It's in my backpack. I've read it twice. Did you know that the crown has 7 rays, which represent the 7 continents?" Emma replied, her face lit up by excitement. "That's right, honey. Every ray also represents an ocean. I'm so proud of you for learning all that." Lucy smiled as she closed her bag. They arrived at the small Charlottesville airport in a shared van. The airport was busy, full of people eager for their own adventures. As they walked to check in, Emma firmly held her mother's hand, her prying eyes watching all around. "Mom, look at that plane. It looks like a giant bird," Emma exclaimed, pointing to a Boeing taxiing on the runway. "Yes, it does. And pretty soon, we'll be flying one of these to New York," Lucy replied, leading Emma through the crowd. The check-in process was smooth, and soon they met in the departure area. Lucy bought Emma a travel activity book and a new pen, which Emma used to draw airplane after airplane in her sketchbook. "Mom, when we get to New York, can we go straight to the Statue of Liberty?" Emma asked while coloring a picture. "Of course, my love. We'll do whatever you want," Lucy promised, mentally thanking her for having the opportunity to create those memories with her daughter. Finally, the time to embark has come. As they walked down the narrow corridor leading to the plane, Emma held her backpack firmly, anxiety and excitement mixed in her face. Once on board, a gentle stewardess helped them accommodate their luggage and sit down. "Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I'll be taking care of you during this flight. Here are some pilot wings for you, young explorer," the stewardess said, handing Emma a plastic wing badge, which she immediately attached to her shirt. "Thank you. I'll be a pilot when I grow up," Emma declared, making Lucy and the stewardess laugh. With everything ready, the plane started the taxi to the runway. Emma looked out the window, fascinated with every move of the plane. "Mom, is it true that we're going to fly higher than the clouds?" she asked as the plane accelerated on the runway. "Yes, we will fly high above the clouds. And from there, everything down there will look very small, as if we were looking at a miniature map," Lucy explained, holding Emma's hand as the plane took off, taking them to the city that never sleeps and to the adventures that awaited them. Lucy and Emma's flight to New York proceeded smoothly in the early hours. On board the plane, the cabin was full of excited passengers, some heading for holidays, others to work commitments. Emma's initial tension with flying for the first time dissipated as the plane stabilized above the clouds, where the sun shone brightly, contrasting with the ash they left on the ground. Lucy took the opportunity to teach Emma a little more about the city they were about to explore. She talked about New York skyscrapers, parks, and cultural diversity. Emma listened attentively, occasionally interrupting with questions or to express her excitement, especially about the Statue of Liberty. "Mom, when we get there, can we go to the top of the Empire State Building too? I want to see the whole city from up there," Emma said, her eyes shining with the idea. "Of course, my dear. We'll see New York in every way we can," Lucy replied, her heart warming as she seized the pure joy on her daughter's face. As they talked, the stewardess, Jennifer, approached with a cart of drinks and snacks. Emma chose apple juice and cookies, while Lucy opted for coffee. "Emma, are you enjoying the flight?" Jennifer asked, handing them the drinks. "Yes, it's amazing out there, and I can't wait to see the Statue of Liberty," Emma responded, receiving a warm smile from Jennifer. "It's really a spectacular view. You'll love it," Jennifer said, before continuing her way through the cabin. As the plane flew over the vast panorama of the United States, Lucy picked up her New York guide and began planning the activities of the coming days. Emma, in turn, distracted herself by drawing in her notebook. She tried to imagine what the famous statue would look like by drawing it in various ways. However, the tranquility was abruptly interrupted when the plane began to shake slightly. Initially, Lucy thought it was just a common turbulence, but the intensity increased rapidly, and the smiles gave way to expressions of concern. Emma shook her mother's hand, her gaze filled with fear. "Mommy, what's going on?" Emma asked, her voice shaking a little. "It's probably just turbulence, dear. It'll pass soon." Lucy tried to reassure her, though she felt a twinge of anxiety herself. The captain of the plane activated the seatbelt sign and made a reassuring announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are passing through an area of slightly more intense turbulence. Please keep your belts fastened and try to remain calm." Despite attempts to calm the passengers, the plane continued to shake violently, and some began to murmur prayers, while others firmly held the arms of the chairs. Emma put her head on Lucy's shoulder, closing her eyes tightly. Suddenly, a deaf bang reverberated through the cabin, and the plane leaned sharply to one side. Screams and exclamations of panic echoed, and even the crew members seemed alarmed. The pilot was trying to stabilize the plane, but it was evident that something serious had happened. Lucy, keeping her composure for her daughter, hugged Emma and whispered, "It'll be all right, Emma. I'm here with you." The commander returned to the intercom. "We are facing a critical failure in our electrical system due to a possible impact with an external object. Our team is working to solve the problem. I ask you to remain calm and follow the instructions of the crew." Jennifer, the stewardess, quickly approached Lucy and Emma, trying to offer some comfort. "We are doing everything we can to ensure your safety. Please try not to be alarmed," she said, her voice trying to hide her own fear. Meanwhile, the cabin crew ran back and forth, checking systems and communicating with the cockpit. The tension was palpable. Each face reflected the fear of uncertainty. Lucy held Emma, praying internally that they would find a quick solution. At this critical moment, Emma, always attentive and curious, noticed a specific behavior of the technical team. They seemed concerned about a particular section of the control panel, often pointing and discussing in urgent tones. "Mom, I think they're trying to fix something there," Emma said, indicating direction with a shaky finger. "Yes, it seems so," Lucy replied, watching closely as an idea began to form in her mind. Based on the numerous hours she had spent watching aviation documentaries with Emma to feed her daughter's curiosity. Maybe, just maybe, little Emma could offer more than just courage in that situation. As the plane continued to be shaken by intermittent turbulence, the crew worked frantically to diagnose and resolve the critical failure that had compromised the aircraft's electrical systems. Meanwhile, Lucy held Emma tightly, trying to protect her not only from physical bumps, but from waves of fear sweeping the cabin. Emma, in turn, stared at the technical team, watching every movement of the engineers and technicians moving with palpable urgency. The little one had a curious mind, fed by whole afternoons watching documentaries about technology and engineering with her mother. Even in the chaos, his mind was attentive, trying to understand the problem that afflicted the plane. The captain of the flight, an experienced pilot named Marissa, came to the intercom once again, her voice trying to project calm. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are doing everything in our power to resolve the situation. I ask you to remain calm and follow the safety instructions provided by our crew." It was then that the real gravity of the situation came to light. One of the engineers, speaking briefly over the radio, mentioned that access to the compartment needed to repair the fault was extremely restricted, a passage too narrow for an adult. Word spread quickly, and an anxious murmur rose among the passengers. Lucy, hearing this, felt a mixture of fear and determination. Looking at Emma, she saw not only her daughter, but a possible key to the salvation of everyone on board. Emma was small, agile, and above all incredibly brave for her age. Emma, dear, Lucy began, her voice trembling. They need someone small to help fix the plane. Someone like you. Do you think you can? Emma looked at her mother, her big, serious eyes. Mom, I can try. I want to help, she said, a firm resolution in her childish voice. With a heavy heart but full of pride, Lucy called Jennifer, the stewardess, and explained that Emma was willing to try. Jennifer, recognizing the seriousness of the offer, drove mother and daughter to the cockpit to discuss the plan with Captain Marissa. Emma, this is very dangerous, Marissa explained carefully, her eyes assessing the little girl in front of her. But you may be our only chance to make that repair. You will need to get into a very tight space and follow specific instructions to reconnect some cables. Do you think you can do that? Emma nodded, determined. I can do it, Captain Marissa. I want to help. With the decision made, the crew prepared Emma for the task. She was equipped with a small radio, a headlamp and tools appropriate for the size of her small hands. Lucy hugged her daughter, whispering words of encouragement and love, as tears shone in her eyes. You're the bravest person I know, Emma. I love you very much, Lucy said, feeling the weight of every word. I love you, Mom. I'll be back soon, Emma replied, the seriousness of her mission reflected in her young face. Under the careful guidance of Marissa and the technical team, Emma was guided to the access panel. With the radio attached to her chest, she began to sneak through the confined space leading to the maintenance compartment. The cabin was silent, all passengers and crew waiting, holding their breath, as Emma disappeared from view. Inside the narrow compartment, Emma found the disconnected cables that needed to be reconnected. Following the detailed instructions she received over the radio, she worked meticulously, connecting each cable to its correct correspondent. Now the blue in the blue, now the red in the red, she repeated to herself, her small voice echoing on the radio that the crew listened in silence. After tense minutes that seemed like hours, Emma announced on the radio, I'm done. Everyone is connected. A collective sigh of relief and hope spread through the cabin. In the cockpit, Marissa tested the controls, and, to everyone's delight, the plane systems began to respond again. It worked. Emma, you did it. You're our little heroine, Marissa exclaimed, her voice full of emotion and relief. As Emma was carefully guided back out of the compartment, the cabin exploded in applause. Passengers and crew cried and laughed, relieved and amazed by the courage of the little girl. Lucy ran to hug her daughter, wrapping Emma in her arms with unconditional love and immense pride. You saved us all, my dear. You're amazing, Lucy whispered as Emma, exhausted but happy, rested in her arms. With the plane again under control, the tense atmosphere that had dominated the cabin quickly turned into one of celebration and deep relief. Emma, still a little shaken but held in her mother's arms, received praise and thanks from everyone around. Passengers who, moments before, faced the worst-case scenario, now looked at the little one with admiration and infinite gratitude. The crew members, led by Captain Marissa, approached to personally express their thanks as some passengers began to share the story on social media, calling Emma the big flight heroine. Lucy, though relieved and immensely proud of Emma, remained vigilant, aware of the stress the situation could have caused her daughter. She snuggled Emma in her lap, cradling her gently, while stewardess Jennifer brought a hot chocolate drink to the girl, smiling warmly. You were amazing, honey, Jennifer told Emma. You're braver than many adults I know. Thank you, replied Emma, her shy smile illuminating her tired face. As the flight now proceeded peacefully towards New York, the pilot informed the passengers that they were making excellent progress and would soon reach their destination. The rest of the flight went smoothly, and the plane landed smoothly at John F. Kennedy International Airport. News of Emma's courage had already spread, and upon landing, Lucy and Emma were greeted by a team of journalists, curious to hear about the young girl's heroic act. As cameras clicked and recorded, Lucy spoke on Emma's behalf, recounting the experience with a voice full of emotion. We are very grateful for the training and skill of our crew, she said, and I couldn't be more proud of my daughter. She showed incredible courage. In the following days, Emma's story was featured in local and national news. She was invited to visit the Statue of Liberty as a guest of honor, where park employees treated her like a real hero. During the visit, Emma received a special miniature of the statue, symbolizing courage and freedom, values she had so bravely embodied. Lucy and Emma also received an annual pass courtesy of the airlines, ensuring that their future adventures would be assured. More important, however, was the strengthened bond between mother and daughter, a bond that now had a new layer of mutual respect and admiration. The journey that began with the promise of discovery and fun became a journey of heroism and growth. Emma, though still young, had learned valuable lessons about courage, resilience, and the impact of her actions on others. Lucy, in turn, found a new admiration for her daughter, seeing in her not only the child who needed protection, but a person capable of facing great challenges. In New York, mother and daughter explored the city with renewed enthusiasm. Every landmark they visited, every street they walked, had an extra glow, tinged by the awareness that life is fragile, but also full of unexpected possibilities. Emma, though young, felt inspired by the city that never sleeps, a metropolis that, like her, had shown an incredible ability to face adversity. The night before they returned home, Lucy took Emma to one of the highest points of the Brooklyn Heights promenade, where they could see the Manhattan skyline lit up against the night sky. There, with the gentle breeze caressing their faces, Lucy hugged Emma and whispered, "You changed our world, Emma. I always knew you were special, but now the whole world knows." The two stayed there, looking at the city, feeling part of something bigger, something unstoppable. The adventure they faced together had changed them forever, leaving them with unforgettable memories and a story of bravery that would continue to inspire and be told for many years to come. So while the glow of the city lights reflected in their eyes, Lucy and Emma knew that this was just the beginning of many other stories. And with the spirit of New York pulsing through their veins, they were ready for anything the future might hold. If you liked this exciting story, help us by leaving your like and subscribing to our channel. Until the next story.